Some things you share with friends can quietly steal your peace, your dignity, even your power. Today, I'm going to reveal the 5 things every older woman must never disclose, because what you protect protects you. Every woman, as she ages, carries within her a tapestry of experiences, some bright, some shadowed. These experiences, these private struggles, shape her in ways that are invisible to the casual observer. But there is a subtle, profound wisdom in choosing what to reveal and what to protect. Personal struggles, whether emotional, mental, or situational, are not mere stories. They are the silent battles that define resilience. When an older woman shares every difficulty, every moment of vulnerability, she risks giving away the very essence of her strength. Friends, even well-meaning ones, may not fully grasp the depth of what she endures. In some cases, they might unintentionally diminish her struggles, offer advice that feels hollow, or worse, carry her pain as gossip, diluting its sacredness. The act of holding these challenges close is not about isolation. It's about understanding that your inner world is yours to navigate with dignity, that your struggles do not need external validation to exist or to be real. Life, after a certain age, teaches the importance of discernment, the ability to distinguish between those who uplift and those who inadvertently exploit vulnerability. When you guard your personal struggles, you create a space of authenticity that is unshakable. You learn to confront pain without performing it for others, to heal without seeking applause, and to grow without the weight of unsolicited judgment. There is a quiet power in being seen but not fully exposed, in letting people witness your life without letting them inherit your battles. Each struggle that remains private is a seed of resilience. It is a testament to the woman who has learned that not every ear needs to hear, not every heart needs to carry, and not every mind deserves the blueprint of your deepest fears. By choosing discretion, you also protect your energy. Energy is finite, and how you spend it shapes the trajectory of your days. Sharing struggles indiscriminately disperses this energy into spaces that may not honor it, leaving you drained and vulnerable. The older woman who masters this art of guarding her struggles understands that strength is cultivated in silence. She knows that life's hardships are teachers, not performances. There is an elegance in facing difficulty with composure, in enduring without exhibition, and in allowing your journey to remain a private testament to your courage. In relationships, this selective transparency fosters respect. Friends who witness a controlled revelation of your struggles are more likely to approach you with sincerity, empathy, and care. Those who seek to unravel your inner battles too quickly or to exploit your vulnerabilities reveal their own limitations. Recognizing this distinction is critical. Every struggle you protect is a statement of self-respect, an assertion that your emotional landscape is sacred, and sacredness commands reverence. By keeping your battles close, you also cultivate emotional independence. You learn to rely on your own judgment, your own resilience, and your own capacity to navigate storms. You discover that while support is valuable, it is not always necessary. The older woman who exercises this discernment becomes a pillar of stability, not just for herself, but for those who genuinely deserve to lean on her. There is also an element of strategic wisdom in guarding struggles. Life, especially in later years, is not always kind or fair. Information, once shared, cannot always be taken back. Even those with good intentions may inadvertently spread your story in ways that complicate relationships, create misunderstandings, or invite judgment. By keeping personal struggles private, you prevent the erosion of trust, the dilution of your narrative, and the unnecessary exposure of your vulnerabilities. It is not about secrecy for secrecy's sake. It is about preserving the integrity of your story. This integrity is the foundation of self-confidence. When you know that your challenges are managed with discretion, you walk through the world with a calm assurance. Your dignity remains intact, and your self worth is not contingent on others' recognition of your hardships. The practice of guarding struggles also teaches patience. Healing and growth are processes that cannot be rushed, and often the judgment of others can pressure us into premature disclosures. By valuing your own timing, you allow experiences to unfold naturally, insights to mature, and solutions to emerge organically. Patience, in this sense, becomes an ally in personal mastery. Emotional maturity is another profound benefit. By not outsourcing your struggles for validation, you develop a sophisticated understanding of human behavior. You recognize that everyone has limitations in empathy and capacity, and you adjust your expectations accordingly. This awareness does not breed cynicism, rather it fosters discernment, clarity, and a deeper connection to your own inner guidance. The older woman who holds her struggles close also models resilience for others. Younger women observing her learn the value of discretion, the strength in silence, and the power of navigating adversity with grace. In this way, privacy becomes not just a personal tool, but a subtle act of mentorship. Furthermore, guarding struggles reinforces boundaries. Every relationship benefits from clear limits, and when you protect your emotional inner world, you establish an unspoken contract of respect. Friends and acquaintances learn, often through example, the sanctity of personal experience and the importance of honoring it. Without this practice, boundaries can erode, leaving space for intrusion, judgment, and emotional fatigue. Choosing privacy is also a way to control the narrative of your life. By deciding what to share and what to keep private, you remain the author of your story. This authorship is empowering, especially as life's chapters become more complex with age. You avoid being defined by your struggles in the eyes of others, and instead, allow your life to be understood on your terms. There is also a psychological dimension to this practice. Constantly airing personal struggles can create dependency, both emotionally and socially. By keeping certain matters private, you cultivate resilience, adaptability, and self-reliance. You learn to soothe, guide, and counsel yourself before seeking external validation. This self-sufficiency strengthens your confidence and stabilizes your emotional equilibrium. Every woman who embraces this discipline recognizes that her struggles are not weaknesses. They are markers of experience, depth, and humanity. Protecting them does not diminish their reality, it honors their significance. It is a declaration that your inner life is valuable, sacred, and not to be diluted by casual chatter or misplaced sympathy. In guarding struggles, there is also the benefit of selective intimacy. The relationships that survive this test are those built on authenticity, empathy, and mutual respect. When you reveal personal challenges, it is to those who have demonstrated the capacity to honor them. This selectivity elevates the quality of your connections, ensuring that your vulnerability is met with care, not exploitation. Additionally, holding your struggles close allows for reflection and perspective. You gain the space to process experiences fully, to understand patterns, and to extract wisdom without external noise. This reflective capacity enriches decision-making, enhances emotional intelligence, and fosters a deeper sense of purpose. Life's adversities, when privately acknowledged, become teachers rather than trophies for others' consumption. In essence, guarding personal struggles is an act of profound self-love. It is a recognition that your emotional landscape deserves protection, that your growth is sacred, and that your dignity is non-negotiable. It is a practice that allows an older woman to navigate her years with grace, authority, and inner strength, unshaken by the pressures to overshare or perform vulnerability for acceptance. It is about reclaiming agency over your story, your emotions, and your peace. By maintaining discretion, you affirm that the inner battles you fight are yours to honor, not public property. This perspective transforms the way you interact with the world, how you relate to friends, and how you perceive yourself. Privacy becomes a shield, a source of strength, and a foundation for resilience that cannot be easily shaken or undermined. Every struggle that remains protected contributes to the architecture of your character. It molds patience, empathy, discernment, and wisdom. It reminds you that the most profound victories are often invisible, the quietest triumphs are the most enduring, and the most significant battles are those fought with dignity rather than display. This approach also nurtures a sense of mystery and depth. People are drawn to the woman who carries her life with quiet assurance, whose experiences are reflected in her poise, her composure, and her understated confidence. Guarding struggles adds layers to her personality that are respected, admired, and envied, not because they are hidden for manipulation, but because they are preserved for the sanctity of her inner life. In the end, discretion regarding personal struggles is not just about protection. It is about empowerment. It is a conscious decision to value your inner world over external validation, to respect your journey, and to allow your resilience to flourish without unnecessary interference. This choice is transformative, reshaping relationships, reinforcing self-worth, and cultivating a life lived with intention and integrity. As women grow older, they often accumulate a wealth of experiences, knowledge, and sometimes even material resources. These are achievements that reflect years of effort, sacrifice, and thoughtful decision-making. Yet, there is a subtle but critical wisdom in recognizing that not all of this, especially financial and family matters, needs to be shared openly with friends. The older woman who understands the importance of discretion knows that these areas of her life are not merely details, they are extensions of her security, her dignity, and her autonomy. Sharing financial information, even with those we consider close, can invite unintended consequences. Friends, though they may have good intentions, can sometimes misinterpret your circumstances, offer unsolicited advice, or even harbor envy that subtly alters the dynamics of your relationship. Your financial journey is a private map reflecting your choices, risks, and triumphs. Revealing it too freely can compromise your sense of control and open doors to judgment, misunderstanding, or even exploitation. Similarly, family matters, relationships, conflicts, milestones, or challenges are delicate and deeply personal. Friends may believe they are offering guidance, support, or empathy, but often these revelations can ripple beyond your circle, creating narratives you never intended or exposing vulnerabilities that were never meant for public consumption. The act of keeping family matters private is not about secrecy born of shame. It is about maintaining the integrity of the bonds that matter most. It is about controlling the narrative, protecting relationships, and honoring the sanctity of trust that exists within your family unit. When an older woman exercises discretion in these areas, she safeguards her emotional and financial well-being. She recognizes that privacy is not isolation, it is a shield, a boundary, and a mark of wisdom. It allows her to navigate her life on her own terms, making decisions free from the influence of curiosity, judgment, or external pressure. This form of discretion cultivates respect. Friends and acquaintances learn to approach her with sensitivity, understanding that her life is governed by boundaries that deserve recognition. By not exposing financial details or family conflicts, she sets a standard that her life is not an open book for casual consumption, and that her trust is earned through consistency, integrity, and respect. Moreover, keeping financial and family matters private enhances self-reliance. When a woman relies too heavily on external validation or advice regarding her resources or relationships, she risks weakening her own confidence in decision-making. By handling these matters privately, she cultivates a sense of empowerment, understanding that she alone is responsible for her well-being and the well-being of those she loves. There is also an element of strategic foresight in this approach. Financial information, if shared indiscriminately, can lead to comparisons, expectations, or even requests that compromise your peace. Friends may unintentionally influence your decisions, and your generosity or openness can be taken for granted. By maintaining privacy, you control your own narrative, your timing, and your capacity to respond to life's challenges without undue interference. Family matters likewise require careful consideration. Conflicts, achievements, or personal developments within the family are nuanced, and sharing them with outsiders risks oversimplification or misrepresentation. Discretion allows for resolution within the family first, ensuring that bonds are strengthened, not strained, by external opinions or unsolicited advice. The older woman who masters this principle demonstrates maturity, patience, and profound wisdom. She knows that not every victory, every challenge, or every decision requires an audience. By preserving these aspects of her life, she creates an aura of stability, trustworthiness, and dignity. Privacy, in this sense, is a declaration of self-respect. It signals that her life is valuable, her relationships are sacred, and her resources are to be managed with intention rather than performance. Keeping financial and family matters private also fosters emotional balance. Life is unpredictable, and sharing sensitive information can invite stress, unsolicited input, or even conflict. By reserving certain knowledge for herself, she maintains peace of mind, clarity, and the ability to act without distraction or undue influence. In her friendships, this practice encourages authenticity over superficiality. Friends who respect her boundaries understand that connection is not built on oversharing, but on mutual respect, empathy, and meaningful interaction. They learn that trust is reciprocal, and that the depth of a relationship is measured not by the quantity of information exchanged, but by the quality of understanding and support. Furthermore, discretion in these matters enhances a sense of independence. The older woman who guards her financial and family matters demonstrates that she is not reliant on external validation or approval. She makes decisions guided by her values, experience, and foresight, free from the pressure of social comparison or unsolicited opinions. This independence is empowering, reinforcing confidence and reinforcing the understanding that her life is her own to direct. There is also a protective dimension to this practice. Financial security and family stability are cornerstones of peace in later years. Sharing too much can create vulnerability, not only to judgment, but to practical consequences, such as mismanagement, expectations, or intrusion. By maintaining privacy, she ensures that her resources, relationships, and well-being remain intact and safeguarded. In addition, this discretion allows for thoughtful communication when it is truly necessary. When an older woman chooses to reveal aspects of her financial or family life, it is done with intention, timing, and purpose. The disclosure is meaningful, measured, and often transformative, rather than reactive, casual, or potentially harmful. This approach elevates her interactions and preserves the dignity of everyone involved. The practice of guarding these matters also nurtures wisdom. With time, women learn that sharing too much can create ripples that extend beyond their control. By holding certain truths close, they cultivate foresight, emotional intelligence, and strategic judgment, ensuring that their influence, impact, and relationships remain positive, constructive, and sustainable. Ultimately, keeping financial and family matters private is about creating a life of autonomy, respect, and intentionality. It allows the older woman to navigate her years with confidence, clarity, and peace. It is a declaration that her life is valuable, her boundaries are non-negotiable, and her personal and familial integrity is worth protecting. Through this principle, she not only safeguards her present, but also shapes her legacy, demonstrating that true strength lies not in exposing every detail, but in preserving the aspects of life that truly matter, managing them with discretion, wisdom, and grace,